foggy here in Cincinnati as the Cubs will settle in over the next 4 days. They'll play 5 games, including a day-night doubleheader tomorrow. It's Game 1, the Cubs and the Reds here on Comcast Sportsnet. Great to have you with us. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. A lot of all-star reps in the ballpark tonight. 4 for Cincinnati. The Cubs might have 3 all-stars, although they all have a different story.
Indeed, they do. Starlin, Castro, Jeff Samardzija were elected by the players, so we know Starlin's going to be there. Jeff has made the National League All-Star team, but he's an American leaguer, so he'll be ineligible to pitch after the trade to Oakland. And Anthony Rizzo, one of 5 National League players eligible to be voted in that final fan vote, and you can do that by going to Cubs.com.
Yeah, some pretty stiff competition, but let's hear from a couple Cubs on the all-star candidacy of Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah, I think Riz deserves to make the all-star team because he's come out and really been a leader for our team offensively. He's been a catalyst. He's hit a lot of big home runs, and his numbers kind of speak for themselves. So, hopefully he can make that push.
It's been an honor so far. Really thankful for everyone that's reached out via social media, text messages, all over, and both in Chicago and Detroit, and even all around the league. It's been really thankful.
I think Rizzo's popular with the fans because he tries to play a lot of different cards with them. He thinks makes them think he's Italian. He plays for the Italian team. He's got that in his blood somewhere. I'm not sure if it's in his blood, but he claims it. He's gone through a lot in his life to get to where he is. He doesn't take advantage of the situation, dealing with cancer and stuff like that. I think it's made him a very likable guy.
So 24-year-old Anthony Rizzo will try to join his teammate Starlin Castro in the Midsummer Classic. In the lineup tonight, the Cubs and the Reds are next.
Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Welcome back to Great American Ballpark here in Cincinnati. 5-game series over the next 4 days. First 5-gamer between these two teams since 1999. Let's get the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Mike Leake, right-hander, will pitch for the Reds tonight. Edwin Jackson for the Cubs. Chris Coghlan will lead it off in a good stretch. Justin Ruggiano, the hottest Cub, 2 more hits yesterday. Anthony Rizzo again among the 5 for the final vote for the National League All-Star team. Starlin Castro, 3rd time in his career he's been an All-Star. Valbuena at 3rd, Castillo back of the plate. It's Nate Scherholz in right, Darwin Barney at 2nd, and Jackson the pitcher hitting 9th.
Key defense for Cincinnati this evening. You're going to see a little wrinkle here. The outfield has Ludwig, Hamilton, and Skip Schumacher in right. Frazier, Santiago's the shortstop tonight, spelling Zach Kozar. Brandon Phillips has only made 1 error this year. He's gotten 77 errorless. And check out first base. Jay Bruce slides in from right field to play first base. Joey Votto banged up. He has not played first base since he was a teenager, 16, 17 years of age, so that'll be fun to watch. Devin Mesoraco, the all-star behind the plate, and our Lexus starting pitcher for Cincinnati tonight is Mike Leake, 26-year-old right-hander. Having a nice year, 17 starts, a losing record at 6-7, but very credible 3.47 earned run average. Really good against the Cubs in his career, 7-2 lifetime, and the Reds are 11-3 in his 14 starts against the Cubs.
Set the umpires for you. Mike Malinsky's back of the plate. Mike Winters is a crew chief. He's at first. Andy Fletcher at second. Mark Wegner over at third. If tonight's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to JDRF, and that man is Chris Coghlan. Leake wasting no time. He's ready to go. And sinking fastball misses. Up and away, ball 1. We're underway.
Yeah, you see a lot of sinkers from Leake. Not an overpowering guy. Command pitcher. A lot of different looks. Cutter, curve, slider, changeup.
Hot and muggy. And we hope to miss the rain tonight and tomorrow. In the next 27 hours, we're slated to play 3 games. 86 degrees as we get going. Off the plate inside. The Reds are shorthanded. Joey Votto has not been placed on the DL, but his left quad has been bothering him for a while. He spent some DL time earlier. And Jay Bruce, you mentioned, filling in tonight at first. This is a pretty new experience for him, already laughing about a foul grounder. He's a very good right fielder and playing first base for the first time since high school. So Votto basically not available tonight, but he's still active. That one punched out into center and a base hit.
And Brian Pena can play some first base. He's also their backup catcher, but he's away from the club on paternity leave. And Jay Bruce getting a little primer over there from Jay Bell on the intricacies of playing first base and not really going all that well.
But that was 4 hours ago.
That was 4 hours ago. I know this much. He's got one of the better throwing arms among first basemen in the National League.
Justin Ruggiano, foul strike.
And you can understand, Jay Bell working with him with the footwork over there and how to, go after a ball in the dirt. But at the end of the day, I think they're probably best off just saying, hey, just go be an athlete. Don't get too mechanical. Don't think about it too much.
Leake facing the Cubs for the first time this season and has had good success against them in a breaking ball for a strike. In a lot of ways, Mike Leake's the right-handed version of Travis Wood in that works quickly, very good athlete. He can hit. He considers himself a baseball player, not just a pitcher. Up and in, almost hit him.
Yeah, straight out of college to the big leagues because he was the whole package, you know. Out of Arizona State, drafted in June of 2009. He was a guy that they saw. But he's ready to pitch in the big leagues. Maybe not a high ceiling, top of the rotation type guy, but a polished pitcher with good command, good control, and could do all the little things, as you mentioned: hit, bunt, shut down the running game.
He throws a lot of strikes. On the baseball cube, they list his pitch repertoire. I mean, he's 66% strikes with his sinker, with his cutter, 63% strikes with his curveball. Everything's over 60%. The only pitch he doesn't throw for a strike is the intentional ball. Strike 3 called as Coghlan steals second base. Third steal of the year for Coghlan. Ruggiano, the first out of the ball game.
Well, at least the type of guy that hitters don't necessarily fear. You know, you're not worried about getting blown away by his stuff. So I think he takes advantage of that. He'll throw a lot of pitches just off the edges that guys will offer at.
Now Rizzo, pretty crowded at first base in the National League, as we have talked about the last couple of weeks. Certainly deserving of an all-star bid, and he has a shot via the online voting, pretty close at second. And Santiago snuck in behind Coghlan. So the American League Final 5, all pitchers, National League position players. You've got Justin Morneau, another first baseman. We just saw Anthony Rendon. In Washington, Casey McGee on the list, the former Cub, now with Miami. And Justin Upton of the Atlanta Braves. 0-1 on Rizzo. Teams with players on this list partnering with other teams from the other league. Cubs matching up with the Tigers, and Rick Porcello on the American League list.
They're forming an alliance?
Yes. So the thought is, you know, Tiger fans vote for Rizzo, Cub fans vote for Porcello. That helps both. And that's fouled away. I think Anthony is the most deserving of the 5, but that's easy for us to say, I guess. He has the highest OPS. He's hit the most home runs. Oh, 2 on him. And he pulls it foul over the Reds' dugout. The Samardzija one's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
He gets in as a National League All-Star, but he's now in the American League, so at the moment he is ineligible.
Yeah, the vote, Jeff got in with the player vote, as did Castro, and the player vote took place prior to the trade.
So he can go to the game. He gets full All-Star honors and recognition, but cannot pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts for Leake, and he'll face the 3-time All-Star Starlin Castro.
That means when he meets his demise at a ripe old age, he gets to be buried in the All-Star cemetery. It's one of the perks of that.
You've been hanging around Marty Brenneman too much. Here's Castro. 24 years old, an All-Star 3 different times already. And this one, I think, means more than the first 2 for Castro after a really rough year last year. He gave
Cubs strength coach Tim Buss a lot of credit. Tim flew down to the Dominican. They spent several weeks together working on conditioning. And so far he's put up the best OPS of his career, just under 800 going into action tonight. Kick, the pitch, ground ball to third, gobbled up by another All-Star, Todd Frazier, and the inning is over. Leadoff single and a steal, but no runs. Here come the Reds with the bats against Edwin Jackson. Edwin Jackson, now Brian Price's Southwest starting lineup. Billy Hamilton, National League Rookie of the Month in June. Todd Frazier is an All-Star for the first time. Brandon Phillips at second. Jay Bruce at first. Hit a game-winning homer yesterday, but has been slumping lately. Devin Mesoraco makes the team. He's a manager's choice. 52 games, 15 homers. Ludwig, Schumacher, and Santiago in front of the pitcher Mike Leake.
Cubs defense. It's brought to you by Kia, and it shapes up this way this evening. Coughlin, Ruggiano, Shearholtz in the outfield. Valbuena, Castro, Barney, Rizzo third to first. Wellington, Castillo behind the plate. The Cubs have only committed one error in their last 11 ball games. They're pretty tight defensively. Lexus starting pitcher for the Cubs tonight is Edwin Jackson, 5-8 with a .499 earned run average in 17 starts. 4-2 with a .381 lifetime against Cincinnati. Solid last time out, no decision at Boston, allowed 6 hits and 1 run in 6 innings of work.
Here's Hamilton, 35 stolen bases already. Hit .327 in June, just 3 out of 21 to start July. And a good idea to keep him off the bases. Jackson into his motion, and the 1-0 pitch. He shows bunt and takes it for ball 2.
He'll be taking all the way here as he tries to work his way aboard. He doesn't walk much. That's an area that he could really improve. His walk rate well below league average, so he's got a .301 on base percentage. You'd like to get a lot more than that out of your leadoff man.
And it is 3-0. The Reds just won 2 of 3 against the first place Brewers. And they've gone 22-13 over their last 35 games.
Mulligan. Do-over.
Okay, so here's the question now. And Edwin's been pretty good in his career, pulling on base runners, and will throw over there a lot. When you're just starting the ball game, you're getting down to the all-star portion of the lineup. As a pitcher here, do you almost tell yourself he's going to steal second, so let's get settled in on the mound, or you spend a lot of time trying to stop him?
You know, somewhere in between, but I would go more A than B. I mean, I'm trying to find the strike zone. I don't want to get careless with Frazier up here.
And they just about picked him off.
Well,
that would work.
He's got quick feet. He's picked a couple guys off. And if you're Billy Hamilton, obviously your job is, once you're on base, is to work your way around the bases. But pitcher just issued a 4-pitch walk, so you might want to wait a pitch or two to see if he can establish the strike zone before you put yourself at risk trying to steal a base.
He's got 4 pickoffs already this year, Edwin Jackson.
Hamilton, one of those guys that he gets under your skin. You know, you worry about him before the game starts. You got to throw this guy strikes, and that's probably why you end up walking him, because you have that mental point of view instead of just saying, I'm going to make a good pitch with my fastball down and away. You're saying, don't walk him, and whenever you think that way, bad things tend to happen. And he's over there, and you know he's going to go at some point. So you're worried about him. You got a dangerous hitter in the batter's box at Todd Frazier.
Not running, Frazier shows bunt and takes a pitch out of the zone. So 5 pitches all out of the strike zone for Jackson here to start the first inning.
Right. So now the focus has to be on making pitches. Don't worry so much about Hamilton.
Fouled away, and one of the reasons Hamilton might not have been running there early is he doesn't want to run into an out, considering how Jackson has started.
Yeah, well, why put yourself at risk if there's a chance he's going to walk the guy behind you, and 2 out, nobody on.
Hamilton looked like he wanted to go, and then he kind of stumbled.
Yeah. He's looking out at the dirt there. His plant foot kicked out on him a little bit.
There he goes. Got a base hit. Looks like Castro had taken a step towards second. And Hamilton at third now. First and third, nobody out. Let's see what Castro's first move is. No, he didn't. He just hit it past him. Barney was covering.
A little bobble by Hamilton, too, after he rounded second base. And even though he's going on this, very few guys in baseball are going to go first to third on a ball hit that sharply to left field, even when they're moving with the pitch. And you saw the influence it had on Coughlin as he tried to hurry the throw. He dropped the handle.
Here's Brandon Phillips. Yeah, you made a great point. We were talking over dinner about the Reds with 4 All-Stars, and none of them named Votto, Bruce, or Phillips.
Yeah, how about that? Which really bodes well for the Reds in the second half of the season. If these guys, the Bruce, Phillips, Votto, if they live up to the reputation, you know, the numbers on the back of the baseball card, if they do what they normally do, combined with what you're getting from Frazier Mesoraco. You know, they should be really, really good.
The 0-1. Lined to right. Scherholz makes a catch. He's going to fire toward the plate, but really no chance. The fastest guy in the league running, and Phillips gets his 38th RBI on a sac fly. It's 1-0 Cincy. By the way, a pickoff throw by Jackson. If Rizzo handles it cleanly, they probably would have gotten Hamilton.
So I wonder how many times Hamilton has, you know, his run scored to times on base ratio, I guess is what we could
probably find that pretty easily. Now Jade Bruce had gone through a career-long 0 for 26 and tried to bunt. That would have been attempting to bunt for a hit with Valbuena back. But he snapped that over with a game-winning home run in the 8th yesterday against Milwaukee. Came off a left-hander, Will Smith. Boy, pulled his hands in and pulled it out of here.
Tremendously strong and typically very streaky. He just is not really not on much of a run at all this year.
Frazier's got 13 steals.
The Reds run a lot. They're among the league leaders in stolen bases. 75 steals. They've been caught 28 times. So it's not just Hamilton. Bruce, a veteran. He's been around a while now, but he's still just 27 years of age.
Lifted in the air, shallow center. Luciano coming in. 2 outs. Devin Mesoraco, if I told you on opening day Devin Mesoraco and Josh Harrison would make the All-Star team, you probably wouldn't have believed me. But this guy has had a year, and he's been on the DL twice, and he's killed the Cubs. He's 10 out of 20 with 3 doubles, 2 homers, 8 RBIs in just 6 games against the Cubs this year. Knocked down by Castillo. A couple of fastballs already in the dirt here in the first inning from Jackson. Some of the damage done by Mesoraco.
Yeah, he's just letting that bat head fly. You could just tell the body language, the confidence in the batter's box. Then that little crouch, he kind of explodes up through the baseball. See how he dips his legs as the pitch is being delivered, and then up and through.
There was a manager's selection, so Mike Matheny picked the starting catcher from one of the Cardinals division rivals. Yikes. Look at those numbers.
And Matheny was pretty NL centric in his selections. He took Tony Watson, the left-hander from the Pirates, along with Josh Harrison, Mesoraco. It's interesting, now that it's not just now, it's been a few years now that the game has quote-unquote mattered in terms of home field advantage in the World Series. So managers are picking their teams with an eye towards winning, not just picking the stars or the best players. I'm not sure it's good. I mean, I want all the star power you can get in the All-Star game. Not to take anything away from Josh Harrison, but I don't think he's an All-Star.
Runner goes and a bouncer to Castro. And that will end the inning. The Reds get a run. That leadoff walk to Hamilton bites Jackson. 1-0.
Lead 1-0. Next homestand, the Cubs celebrate the 60s with festivities that include music, food, and giveaways from the 1960s. For more information about the year-long celebration, visit WrigleyField100.com. Braves are in town. It's a 3-game homestand just prior to the All-Star break. It all starts on Friday, July 11th. Cubs.com to purchase your tickets.
Cubs trailing early 1-0. Here's Luis Valbuena. 6 out of 16 lifetime against Mike Leake. And that really hot stretch, he's cooled off since. And right now just 2 for his last 23. But a week to go until the All-Star break. You really got to push yourself this final week. You see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know you've got a few days off. But this is when you really got to start grinding to get through it. And we've talked about Ricky Renteria telling his guys he wants them to be mentally tired every day. It's a hard game. Wants them to play for 9 innings without any sort of mental lapses, and you should be tired. And you know, we're 4.5 months into the season if you include spring training. So his thing is play as hard as you can, and if you start to sag a little bit, I will notice and I'll give you a day off.
Yeah, that's it. His job is to kind of read the body language of his players, read the bat speed. And these guys that normally are out in front of fastball, that bat starts dragging and fouling balls off the other way. Sometimes a manager has to impose his will on a player because the players don't want to come out of the lineup. They want to be viewed as everyday guys. You know, the quote-unquote grinder, battle through everything. Sometimes the manager just got to say, you know what? Today you're off. Leak leaning a little bit. Thought he got to the outside corner with his backdoor breaker. You see number 6 there just off the edge. Thank you, Menards.
John Fay, longtime beat writer covering the Reds, just tweeted that that was Billy Hamilton's first walk in 19 games.
Yeah.
How about that? That's driven out toward right center. Schumacher will chase after it. Hamilton will play it on the hop. And Valbuena has a leadoff double.
3-2 breaking ball, and Valbuena jumps all over it. You don't see many straight offerings from Leake. I mean, he's got a little action. Either sinker, cutter, good tight breaking ball. Once in a while, a four-seam fastball, but not too often.
Line shot right at Ludwig. Good contact, but that's the first out. And now it's Nate Scherholtz. On paper, this is a really good matchup. He's got 9 hits and 19 cries with a homer off Leake.
Yeah, we said that about him yesterday too against Jordan Zimmerman. He had good numbers against Zimmerman, but that didn't work out so well. He was 0 for 3 with a couple of punch outs. A little bit of a bigger sample here though against Leake.
And another line drive. This one's going to be caught. Frustrating.
Man.
Right at Schumacher.
Leake's not afraid of a little contact.
Couple of Adam balls. Now Barney.
Somebody in that Cub dugout's yelling at him. You got us popping up. See, this is where sometimes that whole batting average with runners in scoring position can be a little misleading.
No
The two guys got up there and they're
question.
rockets.
Well, we have what you've referred to before, line drive rate. And usually guys who are swinging the bats well hit line drives. So even though there were outs, Castillo and Scherholtz should feel good about their swings. Can't tell a guy not to try to hit a line drive.
You cannot.
Stop doing that, Nate. Break your bat. Hit it off the fists.
Darwin's been good lately. 1 out of 3 yesterday.
On a bounce to Frazier to end the inning. Another leadoff hit wasted by the Cubs. 1-0 early, Cincinnati. It's the White Sox and the Red Sox. 6 o'clock Central on Comcast Sportsnet.
Cub fans, you have the final say. You can vote for Anthony Rizzo. It's the final National League All-Star. Go to Cubs.com, cast your 2014 All-Star Game final vote. Send Anthony Rizzo to the All-Star Game. He'll bring you back a T-shirt. Voting ends at 3 p.m. Central on Thursday, July 10th.
Speaking of the final vote, Cub fans, you have the final say. Vote for Anthony Rizzo on your mobile device as the final National League All-Star. From your mobile device, you can text N4 to 89269 to cast your vote for Anthony Rizzo. N4 to 89269. Message and data rates may apply. Voting ends at 3 o'clock Central on Thursday, July 10th. Here's Ryan Ludwig playing left. Fouls off. 2 for his last 25. Cubs have announced they have officially inked right-hander Dylan Cease, whom they drafted out of Milton High School in Georgia in the 6th round of this year's draft. 0-2 on Ludwig. Right-handed pitcher, 18 years old. He was projected to be a really high pick, but then injured his elbow. That's high. Following the story here, John Heyman from CBSSports.com writing about Brady Aiken, the left-hander taken #1 overall by the Astros. Reportedly being offered less money because of a medical issue he has, and sources saying it's his elbow. Said to have agreed originally to a deal worth $6.5 million. Then the elbow issue, and now so this was getting offered $5 million.
This was a pre-draft agreement.
See, Aiken is said to have originally agreed to the $6.5 million pack with the parameters mostly set before he was taken #1. Ludwig strikes out swinging. #1 for Jackson.
No big surprise there. Edwin has dominated Ludwig through the years. 3 out of 18 against Edwin. Good tight slider here. So he avoided the big number in the first inning. Gave up a singleton, but stay away from that crooked number early and then come back out, settle in, get a chance to pitch a good ball game. Wind is shifting. We may have some weather moving in our direction.
Yeah. Fastball missing on Schumacher. Wind in the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Curveball there from Edwin, who typically is very fastball slider reliant. Some the occasional curveball and straight change. Gonna go way up. Well, to see Dylan Cease, yeah, he was a 6th-round pick, but if not for the injury, he might have been a 1st or 2nd rounder, and the Cubs able to save some money earlier in the draft, so they were able to pay him over slot to get him in the fold.
Easy play for Sherholtz.
I don't follow the amateur ranks, I don't other than what I read, but from everything what I've read from those that do, they give the Cubs really high marks for their draft. And giving them really high marks for this recent trade, too.
The switch hitter, Ramon Santiago. He's playing short. Paul Flores, Brady Aiken's personal trainer, quoted in the Houston Chronicle today about Brady Aiken, saying basically, as far as I know, he's absolutely healthy. So now you got everybody, but the pitcher and the team talking about the pitcher's health. So it's tricky, right? I mean, you kind of come up with an idea of what you're going to do, then you draft the kid, then you have the physical, and you go, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, what's the deal there? Is buyer beware, or do you have a conversation with the kid prior? Here's what we're going to pay you. This is what our, what we feel like you deserve as a bonus. But if we find something, some mitigating evidence that we feel like, well, hey, R.A. Dickey, remember, he left a whole bunch of money on the table after he was drafted. They found out he didn't have a tendon in his elbow.
Right. Tim Stauffer, didn't he? Come clean on a pre-existing injury he had. The deadline is July 18th, so that's less than 2 weeks away. So it'll be interesting if the Astros cannot sign him, how that'll be handled for next year. He was a first overall pick. I guess they will just get another compensatory pick.
Yeah, I don't know the rules. I barely know the rules of the game on the field. I don't know all those rules. Ouch.
Sounded like Santiago broke his bat in the process. He was hoping he didn't break a toe.
That might have hit him on the knee.
Well, he got him up.
Got him up high,
a little higher.
Yeah. Ooh, shin burger. They don't have many options. Votto's on the bench, but they don't want to use him. They got a 4-man bench to begin with, so essentially a 3-man bench right now.
And really a 2-man bench if you take the backup catcher out of it, because we're assuming Votto is basically not available. But Cozart and Heisey. And Brian Price does not have Mike Leake available.
Right.
And I don't say that facetiously. He's kind of the Travis Wood, as I said, of the Reds. So if he were not starting tonight, he'd be considered as a pinch hitter. But he's in the lineup. I guess they would get the number 2 pick if they can't come to an agreement. So if you're the rest of baseball, you kind of hope he signs, right? You don't want to be pushed back unless you want Aiken next year, I guess. Jackson fires a strike to Rizzo, and the Reds go down in order. 1-2-3 in the second. They lead the Cubs 1-0. Northside fan photo for a chance to have it appear later on in tonight's broadcast, brought to you by AT&T. JD, do you want to see some news and notes?
I'm interested in news and notes.
Let's look at some.
What's new and notable?
Derek Jeter, 14th and final All-Star appearance. 25 guys will make their first appearance. Edwin Encarnacion is out. Kyle Seager of the Mariners, I saw, will be in as a replacement. 24 foreign-born players will be represented in Minneapolis.
Good notes. Some solid notes right there.
Edwin Jackson leads off and takes a strike. By the way, I was looking around on Baseball Reference today, as I like to do every day. And I looked up Chris Bryant's numbers.
Pretty good, huh?
Oh, man. Chris Bryant has played 87 games in the minor leagues this year. 87. He's got 30 home runs, 80 RBIs, and a .355 batting average. Combined between AA and AAA, as Jackson, with a very late swing, strikes out. Great stats. On base percentage of .451. He's slugging .720.
Not shabby. He's
got 100 strikeouts.
Yeah, he does.
But he walks too. He's got 51 walks.
He and Javi Baez and Jorge Soler all went deep yesterday.
Kyuji Fujikawa beginning his rehab assignment with a scoreless inning at Mesa on Sunday. Ball one on Chris Coghlan. First inning single benefited JDRF, courtesy Benny's Beverage Depot. Change up low. Leak born in San Diego, went to Arizona State. As JD mentioned, went right to the big leagues. That ball hammered out into the gap. Hamilton's not going to get it. Coghlan to second. He's going to hold there with a one-out double. He's 2 for 2.
Well, it's been a recurring theme here for the last handful of games. The improved production from the outfielders. Luciano's been lights out lately. Schierholtz has had some good games. Coghlan doing his thing. Even the speedy Billy Hamilton couldn't run that one down.
Luciano fouls off.
Now, Leak signed in 2009, drafted in 2009, debuted as a professional with the big club in 2010. He had spent time in the minor leagues. He was sent down in 2011.
Yeah, his debut came against the Cubs on April 11th of 2010. First player to go directly to the majors since Xavier Nady in 2000.
Right, and they've got a list here in the Reds press guide of all the guys that went right from
it's
college or high school to the big leagues.
It's been a while since I've seen that. Was Dave Winfield one of them?
Yes. Winning Bob Horner.
Bob Horner, yes. It's raining, and I know that because people are scattering from the seats. And the skies have darkened a lot.
Darren Dreifert. A couple right from high school. Tim Conroy. Mike Morgan, a nice long career. David Clyde, probably the most famous with the Texas Rangers.
3-1.
And for the Cubs, Bert Hooton, 1971 out of the University of Texas. And threw a no-hitter in his 4th major league start. right now, not raining hard enough to stop play. It's more of an annoyance than anything.
He went. Mike Malinsky made the call. So I got you on the swing. It's a long conversation.
And Ruggiano said, well, maybe, couldn't you check? Did you have to ring me up? Couldn't you ask for help? Too late. This is what I saw. This is what I called. Ricky's starting out to make sure Ruggiano stays in the ball game. He had been going along nicely, but 2 at-bats, 2 punch-outs tonight for Justin. League's been a lot better in terms of batting average against right-handers. Boy, from that angle, it didn't look like much, did it? Righty's hitting just .225 against him. Left-handed hitters .297.
So 2 down. Here's Rizzo. Swing and a miss. Yeah, we got a lot of baseball to play here the next few days. We don't need any interruptions. Rolled foul. So it'll be interesting to see what the Reds do or don't do with Joey Votto. They've got a doubleheader tomorrow. They've got the All-Star break next week. This seems to be a pretty good time to have him sit out a couple of weeks. But they have not yet made that decision. I don't think Brian Price wants to play short tomorrow. Now they'll get an extra roster spot for the doubleheader. That'll be for the starting pitcher Holmberg in game 2. 1-0 Reds as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Nuisance. The skies have opened up and the tarp quickly put on the infield, so we will be Starting pitcher still in there. In fact, they'll face one another as Mike Leake will bat for the first time, leading 1-0. Welcome back, JD.
Yeah, that was very brief, wasn't it? It was like just a long half inning, except for nobody scored.
We've had a few of those this year. So Jackson back to work. Pitch number 35 of the evening, and it's low, ball 1.
21 minutes the official time on the rain delay. Should not impact the starting pitchers.
Well, Jackson last year was the king of the rain delay. It seemed like every time we were interrupted, it was during one of his starts. An awkward landing there. 2 balls and a strike. Fouled off. You can see Mike Leake doesn't swing like a lot of pitchers do. He can handle the bat. He's a career .234 hitter with 3 home runs.
Four years in the league, twice he's led pitchers in batting average. 57 hits coming into this season in his career, the most of any pitcher since he's been in the league.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a slider that was up. Well, Jackson hoping this plate appearance doesn't go the same way the first one did for Hamilton. He walked on 4 pitches and would eventually come around to score. Show's bunt takes a strike. That one missed, 1-1 the count. Hamilton leads National League rookies in RBIs, runs, hits, doubles. Obviously stolen bases. He's got 21 games of at least 2 hits. Bob Bescher holds the Reds all-time rookie stolen base record. 54 back in 1909, and the single season stolen base record, whether he'd be a rookie or not, 81 in 1911.
Bullet Bob Bescher. Man, he could fly. I remember going to see him play as a kid. And Hamilton up there, even with 2 strikes, Valbuena has to respect his speed. He stays even with the bag. He was way in with no strikes and then 1 strike.
One, two, slider bounced foul. Matchups tomorrow: Travis Wood and Johnny Cueto in the day game. Cueto an all-star for the first time. Wood was on the team last year. Ruziano is in, 2 down. Game 2, it'll be 33-year-old left-hander Tsuyoshi Wada making his major league debut for the Cubs. David Holmberg will go for the Reds. We'll have that one for you right here on CSN, 6 o'clock Central. Frazier bounces foul.
And Johnny Cueto will be scheduled to pitch on Sunday right before the break. So unless that changes, he wouldn't be eligible to pitch in the All-Star game on Tuesday. And the Reds are hoping that Alfredo Simon will get that assignment. Who's been awfully good this year.
Way in here on Frazier. See, Castillo's glove was not even in the strike zone. 2-1.
They didn't really turn it loose in there, cut it off, and missed down.
And that's a good slider right there. 2-2.
Good depth on that slider. Pretty pitch. Frazier with tremendous power. 17 home runs, and he hit some bombs.
Slugging .502. This one's on the ground to the shortstop Castro, and he throws out his National League All-Star teammate. Coming up, 1-0 Cincinnati at the end of 3.
At the Sheraton Chicago Hotel and Towers on January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Room blocks are now open. It can be reserved by visiting CubsConvention.com or by calling 1-800-325-3535 and asking for the Cubs convention rate. All reservations at the Sheraton Chicago come with convention passes built into the hotel package.
Cubs with a hit and a man left on base. Each of the first 3 innings against Mike Lee. Castro grounded out his first time, ball 1. Buena and Castillo to follow. Made his major league debut here, 2010. Triple home run, 6 RBIs for Starlin Castro. It was a record-setting debut. 20 years old at the time. Three-run homer in his first trip, and then later the bases clearing triple. Castro was the first major league player born in the 1990s. Two and two. Full. Leadoff single by Coughlin in the first. Leadoff double Luis Valbuena in the second. And then Coughlin with a one-out double in the third. But the Cubs have stranded all three in scoring position. And a leadoff walk here in the fourth. Three ceremonial first pitches. Thought it would have been more appropriate, instead of having catchers, have three guys as batters and have all these guys hit them. The Nasty Boys. A couple of lefties, Norm Charlton, Randy Myers, and the right-hander Rob Dibble. Big part of the 1990 Reds World Series championship team.
Yeah, that club had a lead on you after 6. Hang with them. You were done.
44 saves, 351 strikeouts combined that year for manager Lou Piniella. He swept the A's in the World Series, and those three guys did not allow an earned run. And 8 2/3 combined.
Big arms, big fastballs, big personalities, fair bit of zaniness. So you never really wanted to dig in.
Think about that time here. You had Mark Schott, you had Lou Piniella, you had the Nasty Boys. Pete Rose had recently been banned from baseball, right? A lot going on here in Cincinnati around that time. Playing on the turf at Riverfront.
Dibble once took a baseball in frustration and heaved it from the mound into the second deck at Riverfront Stadium and hit an elementary school teacher. Myers used to have all kinds of weaponry in the clubhouse in his locker.
I've heard stories, yes.
You know, he was a lot more sane than the reputation, though. A lot of that was just him having fun and kind of living up to the reputation. Charlton he was a Rice guy. He was really smart. He was kind of devious in his own right, too.
Two and one on Valbuena. Castro the runner at first. And a high deep drive left center. Billy Hamilton still back to the track, and he makes a grab. Valbuena gave it a ride.
That one might have been worth tagging up on if you were Castro. Maybe a tougher read from down there on field level. That may be the conversation that's going on right there. Should I have tagged or not? Tough read from down there. High enough, though, that, you know, if it stays in the park, Hamilton's going to catch it. He might have been better off getting back to first base and trying to get to second on a long throw in. He does have a really good arm. For me, that's the play. Yeah. Tag up on that ball. Try to steal second on the center fielder.
Fastball in there on Castillo. Mike Leake. Still only 26 years old. He's been on their opening day roster 5 times. Not only 7-2 against the Cubs, but when he has started, the Reds are 11-3 in those outings.
Our first look at him this year. Last year, he pitched 4 times against the Cubs. His final 3 starts, he went 3-0 with a .140 ERA.
Bad news for his former teammate. Bronson Arroyo needs Tommy John surgery. One of the most durable starters of this era going into this year. Had never been on the disabled list. It's been pretty much a disaster with the Diamondbacks this season. Went on the DL earlier with a back issue and then the elbow problem.
Brandon McCarthy of the Diamondbacks just traded to the Yankees. How much of that projected rotation is still in place over there?
Well, they lost Corbin.
Yeah.
The season even started, right? Little dribbler, Leak will pick it up. Leak, dribbler, get it. 2 down. That was unintentional.
It worked, though. Cubs stranded 12 yesterday.
And at least 1 in every inning until the 9th.
3 left on so far here tonight. They've had the leadoff man reach 3 of the first 4 innings. They haven't really tested Jay Bruce yet. In his first ever professional game at first base. Spending a lot of time with his head in the home dugout, making sure am I in the right spot. Guys, let me know. Votto's been bothered. He was on the DL earlier with his quad problem, and Walt Jocketty, Brian Price have both said that no matter what, he's not going to be 100% at all this year. So they're just trying to nurse him through this season. And apparently Bruce a few days ago volunteered. He said, hey, I can go over there and play a little first base. I did it as a youngster.
Oh, he's going to get a chance here, and he makes the play. Right on cue. And he gets a standing ovation. You knew that was coming, didn't you? 1-0 Cincinnati. Stretch are now open at Water Tower Place. The museum combines high-tech interactive experiences with an impressive collection of game-used treasures. Come challenge your friends or just yourself. So the Reds will bat, leading 1-0 here in the 4th inning. You see Cub fans making the trip, seeing a lot of lightning off in the distance over Kentucky, but hopefully it has passed us at this point. We had a 21-minute rain delay before the bottom of the 3rd. Brandon Phillips will lead it off. Sac fly, waiting the only run in the opening inning. Tweet from Steve with a rain delay question. What do you guys do during the rain delay? Do you eat? Yes, I had some ice cream.
No, I hadn't recovered from dinner yet. If the delay had come a little later, absolutely.
Did it take a lot out of you?
Yeah, I'm still working that off.
0-2 on Phillips.
Walk single to start the ball game for the Reds. They haven't had a base runner since.
Jackson's 1-2 is low. Bruce is next. Waiting in the cleanup spot between Phillips and Mesoraco. Hit hard on the ground, backhanded by Darwin Barney.
Phillips should know better than to try Barney. Reds just 10th in the league in runs scored this year. Their pitching has really been what's held them together, starting pitching in particular. They've been a lot better in the bullpen since Aroldis Chapman came back. Last year they were 3rd in the league in runs scored. Average down. Slugging down. Led the league in walks last year. This year they're 13th.
Shin-Soo Choo helped a lot in that regard as Bruce bears it out on a fastball at 95, 0-2.
Limited Votto and Choo being gone, really. There's a lot of the on-base numbers away from this club.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's quick work of Jay Bruce. 3rd strikeout now for Edwin.
Just overpowered him there with a couple of fastballs. Just late getting started. 95 followed up by 94.
In a row sent down by Jackson since the Frazier single in the opening inning. He allowed the first 2 guys to reach and has gotten everybody since. First 2 innings coming into this start, a 7.41 ERA. After the second, it drops considerably. 2.65.
They got away with one there. Mesoraco's been killing fastballs this year, middle in. So it makes sense to come in on it, but you got to make sure you get that ball in off the plate. Castillo creeping way inside. And you know, each time he's tried to execute that pitch, he hasn't been able to do it. He's either left it over the plate or cut it off and thrown it in the dirt. So if you're Wellington, you got to kind of go to a plan B. Even though your scouting report and the way you set to work this hitter says let's go in on him from time to time. If you're not executing, you know, if you miss badly and the guy takes it, that's fine. But if you miss over the plate, you can really get hurt. So you know, maybe you have to go to a different game plan, throw more sliders, or try to paint that fastball down and away. The intended inside fastball that misses can be a really bad pitch. There they go. They're going to try it again.
And he did not hit his spot, but it worked.
Well, it's ultimately a good pitch. There's 94 down and had good action.
So back-to-back Ks to end the fourth. It's still 1-0 Reds.
Field include visits to the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. This must-see Chicago attraction houses 100 years of history. Wrigley Field tours are offered on both game days and non-game days, so visit Cubs.com/tours to book yours today.
Leak to Barney, who skies one way foul. Well, we started at 86 degrees, but it has cooled off a fair amount, maybe about 8 to 10 degrees since the rain came through. And it's very comfortable at the moment. Driven in the air to deep left. Ludwig on the dirt makes the grab. The Cubs have squared up some balls tonight off Mike Leake. But about 4 of those have been outs.
Don't have to reach for that one just a little bit. But gave it a pretty good ride. Yeah, there's been some solid contact here. But unfortunately for the Cubs, they're able to push one across.
Nelson Cruz has hit his major league leading 28th home run. Anthony Rendon has connected for the Nationals, and the Orioles and Washington are tied at 2. as they go to the 7th in D.C. Phillies 2, Brewers nothing. They're in the 3rd in Milwaukee. Chase Utley has hit his 7th.
He's an all-star again. So at third base, did Aramis Ramirez win the vote? I believe he did.
I think he did.
He doesn't even have enough at-bats to qualify for the league leaders.
He won the fan vote, right?
No, yeah. He won the fan vote.
Called strike 3. A borderline pitch.
Strikeout of the night for Leake. Second time he's gotten that one.
Oh boy, that just didn't.
No, that's never
didn't
a
feel
strike.
like a strike, did it?
No, it didn't, and it wasn't.
Chris Coughlin's 3 for 3.
Leake looking for a quick inning after 2 outs, willing to throw one in there to Coughlin, hoping to get a quick 3rd out, and Coughlin spoils his plan with a solid line drive single.
We could go on and on the All-Star stuff. I think there are too many. I think it has been watered down a little bit. What are there, 33 or something per team already? Plus,
yeah, I'm not sure.
Injury replacements. 34-man roster each team.
Yeah.
And then you probably add 2 or 3 for each league with pitchers who can't pitch. Position players who are on the DL. Wieters and Encarnacion already out in the American League. Bruce got another hand for not letting that ball get by him.
This is a little tougher chance than the ground ball he fielded.
Swing and a miss.
You know, he was having a lot of fun after he made that play on Schierholtz in their dugout, and we were kind of chuckling about it. And I imagine if people are watching at home, they're thinking, well, hey, he should be able to catch a ground ball. That wasn't that hard of a play, and I agree. But still, it's a weird feeling. You know, a guy who's played the outfield his whole professional career, it's just a different look for him in there. I'm sure there's a lot of anxiety.
In the right. Ruggiano with a base hit. Coughlin to 3rd. 2-out rally here. So after a couple of strikeouts to start Ruggiano's night, he's on the hit board. Here comes Rizzo.
Well, one of the reasons why Ruggiano's been so good lately is his ability and willingness to shoot the ball the other way. He's done it a fair bit here in recent games. And it's really paying off for him. Pretty good plan with that pitch out on the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, he's locked in. No question about it. Came in with 4 consecutive multi-hit games.
Rizzo's been seeing a lot of hard stuff in. See if he cheats on one here.
Sinker inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Hate to waste all these base runners tonight. Time for our AT&T U-verse multi-view. Back-to-back two-out singles by Coghlan and Ruggiano. A tweet from Trey, who says Brian Schlitter's got to be an all-star. He's batting 1,000. Yeah, that's a good call. Highest batting average in baseball. Took out Eric Hinsky. Rizzo bounced one past the Cubs' first base coach.
In, and now Mesoraco wants to go out and chat with Leake. One down and away, everything else in. Mr. Rizzo really struggled with right-handed breaking balls down and in, but not so much this season. Neither guy yielding. Rizzo continues to crowd the plate. Leake continues to throw that cut fastball in on his hands.
Two balls, two strikes. Cubs trailing 1-0 here in the fifth. First of 5 here in Cincinnati.
Big pitch. A lot of thinking going on.
We got working on the back of his hat.
A little rosin, maybe. Some up on the bill of his cap as well.
Another 2-2 ground ball past Bruce. And the Cubs tie it up. That looked to be relatively routine, but again, nothing really routine for Jay Bruce tonight over there at first.
Well, and that's one of the possible outcomes when you continue to pound Rizzo in is that he's going to hit the ball in that direction. I don't think you can pitch away from a certain player, but Bruce going after that one a little bit awkwardly. It's an E3. It's just, you had to figure at some point tonight his lack of experience over there was going to show itself.
So it is an error on Bruce, and it's a 1-1 tie. All this happening with 2 outs. Nothing to Castro. Here it is. He pops it up, but it's going to make the seats. And by the way, the Reds are a terrific defensive team. Got a big piece of Mesoraco. That one stung.
He got beat up pretty good in this series back at Wrigley. Took one off the elbow, got hit in the head with a bat.
Ooh. Direct hit off the mask.
Yeah, they've been good everywhere, haven't they?
They really have.
Frazier.
And he's good in right, so you weaken maybe 2 spots and he can play first base.
Talked about Phillips earlier, multi-Gold Glove winner. He's only made 1 error this year. Working on a streak of 77 consecutive errorless games. Got the speedy Hamilton out there in center.
How do you like the orange and lavender sky right now?
That's beautiful.
It really is.
Really good.
Astros stays alive.
Starlin drew a walk last time up, something he doesn't do that often, and something that Leake rarely does. Very low walk rate. For Leake, a little less than 5%.
Swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. Cubs get an unearned run and have tied the ball game at 1. The game vote now. Look at that. Log on to Cubs in-game live on CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by Comcast Business Class. Have you ever seen anything quite like this? It's after 9 o'clock Eastern time here in Cincinnati, so not too far away from sundown, but Boy, the sky just gorgeous with all the clouds being.
Yeah, I wish I had my easel here to break out my paints and do a little Bob Ross.
One quick out now, Schumacher.
Whereas the Cubs have hit a lot of balls hard off of Leak, not so much for the Reds off of Edwin Jackson. Really settling in nicely here.
I don't have to go to Mars or some other planet with a strange atmosphere. I feel like if we were on Jupiter, this is what it would look like. That one hit hard. Coghlan will not get to it. Schumacher will make his way to second with a one-out double.
Well, snaps the string of consecutive outs recorded by Jackson, and indeed solid contact by Skip Schumacher.
It was a 13 before this double.
Fastball up above the belt, but he's able to level it out and drive it into the alley.
Santiago, he bounced to the pitchers first time up. 1-1 we're in the fifth. Cubs run unearned. And off Mike Leake. Swing and a miss. Strike one.
Santiago, a switch hitter, has been better from this side of the plate in his career. But not this year. .49 is a left-handed hitter, where most of his at-bats have come this season. Better here, though, at the Great American Ballpark.
A couple of feeble swings at breaking balls to start this sequence. Did he try it again? This time Santiago would not go after it.
Yeah, tough to get a guy to chase 3 times in a row. But when you see that weak hack, yeah, I can understand why they were tempted to do it. And, well, he's just not seeing the ball very well.
Base hit to right. Schumacher is going to be stopped. Too bad. Nate Sherholtz would have thrown him out. So Steve Smith putting on the brakes. Even though the pitcher's coming up, but as we said before, Mike Leake can hit.
Yeah, it looked like Nate started to slip a little bit. Even with that, he gets off a very strong, accurate throw home. And with 1 out, Steve Smith throws up a stop sign there. With 2 outs, he sends him.
So we'll see what Brian Price wants to do here with Leake. Safety squeeze would be the normal play with the number 9 hitter in the National League. And he might let him swing away.
Bueno holds his ground there at third base. Doesn't want to cheat in too early and give Schumacher too much of a running start down that third baseline.
Schumacher heads back to third as they get Leak. Castillo to Rizzo. Second and third, 2 outs.
Leak gets the sacrifice down. You get a good look at it here as Schumacher starts. He has just a little bit of time to make a read on that ball, whether he's going to go for it or not. The ball settles right out front of home plate, and he decides to shut her down and head back to third.
First and third have to come in. Even with 2 outs against Hamilton. Walked and scored in the first, fly to shallow center in the third.
I don't know what the immediate forecast is, but this could be a very important at bat in this game. It'll be official after 5.
I think we're all right. There's rain in the area, but not over us. According to my dark sky app, no precipitation expected over the next hour. Jackson's pitch to Hamilton, and a base hit to right. Schumacher scores. Santiago held. And the Reds lead 2-1.
So after a long drought of no base runners, the Reds with 3 here in the 5th.
Frazier 1 for 2. Check on Hamilton.
Hitting .348 over his last 6 games, .326 since the end of May. Frazier, a Jersey boy, and as a youngster,
4 seasons.
Yes, he is. He's got very high pitch rate. That's him with Derek Jeter at Yankee Stadium when he was on a 16 and under All-Star team back in the day. So
how about that,
sharing the field with Jeter there, and he will again at the All-Star game this year in Minnesota. That's pretty cool.
1998. Just knocked in Santiago to make it 3-1. 4th hit of the inning for the Reds.
All well struck too, nothing cheap. Making mistakes out over the plate.
Bosio to the mound.
Edwin went 6 innings last time out, but that's something he has not done frequently here of late. Previous start, 5 1/3. The one before that, 5. Prior to that, 4 2/3. Matter of fact, just 2 innings or 2 starts of 6 innings in his last 8.
Two runs in, runners at first and second. Off the end of the bat, little flare's going to hold up enough for Ruggiano. If the Reds regain the lead, it's 3-1 at the end of 5.
The 6. Reds have 3. The Cubs have 1. In celebration of Wrigley Field's 100th season, the Cubs and MasterCard have partnered to offer a limited number of MasterCard Century seats for every game during the 2014 regular season. Fans can use their MasterCard to purchase Upper Deck box tickets for $19.14. For more information or to make your purchase, visit Cubs.com/Century Seats.
Top of the 6th, it's 3-1 Cincinnati. The Reds 5-3 against the Cubs this season. And leading here tonight as Valbuena pulls one backhanded play by Bruce. And nobody happier in that Reds dugout that they got those 2 runs than Bruce, who committed the error, allowing the Cubs to tie it up. Go one of 2 ways, I suppose, for Bruce in terms of the defense affecting his offense. He had gone through that long over before the game-winning homer yesterday. I suppose you could say, well, playing a new position could negatively affect his offense. So you could say maybe it'll just make him not think so much. Another struggles at the plate. He is 0 for 2.
Well, yeah, if you're playing the infield, you have to be a lot more engaged than you are in the outfield.
Can't grind on your at-bats so much playing an infield spot. You're right. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Castillo.
I know one thing, his legs are going to be tired after tonight because he's in constant motion out there.
Breaking ball in there. It's 2-2.
Reds winning the season series so far this year, and that's been the trend. 31-12. The Reds versus the Cubs the last 3 seasons.
Stretching that out a little further, 52-21 in the last 73 matchups. Breaking ball is lined into the left field corner. Castillo will make the turn on his way to second, where he'll stand with a double. So Leake has not had a clean inning. The Cubs have had at least one base runner every frame. In fact, I think they've had, they've had a guy get into scoring position in every inning.
That's a 3rd double on the night. 6th hit.
Broken bat, base hit. Castillo's got to stop at 3rd. They're at the corners for Barney.
Right off the end of the bat. But able to squirt it between Phillips and Bruce.
Barney 0 for 2 tonight. He was at 194 going into the month of July. 8 out of 20. That's a .400 batting average so far this month.
Well, he laid down a beautiful sacrifice bunt yesterday, and here's where that safety squeeze could be in play again. Just a little push bunt out there towards Bruce.
If you do that, you'd have to pinch hit for Jackson. He's on deck, trailing by a couple of runs.
Don't want to do that at this stage with the doubleheader coming tomorrow.
See Ryan Sweeney as a possibility. Schumacher's got it. Castillo tagging on his way to the plate. The throw there in time. They got him. Rookie will come out. So for the time being, the inning is over. As is usually the case on these bang-bang plays, the manager comes out, but I think Willie told him I'm out. So there will be no challenge.
I don't think Willie ever got to the plate.
So we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-1 Cincinnati. Well, you're right, never did. They battle the Braves this Saturday, July 12th at 3:05. Get here early. First 10,000 fans get a Billy Williams retired number flag presented by Wrigley 5 Gum. Tickets are still available. Visit Cubs.com to reserve your seats.
Xfinity high-speed action will turn back to the top half of the inning. Fly ball to right field. Skip Schumacher doesn't play a whole lot of right field. Jay Bruce normally handles that. Bruce has a cannon out there. Schumacher does a nice job getting behind this one. Good, strong one-hop throw homeward, and Mesoraco doing a nice job going out to get that ball and then diving back to prevent Castillo from getting to home plate.
Bruce leads it off here in the Reds' 6th, inside ball 1.
Cubs have stranded 7 and have had a man thrown out at home now tonight.
White Sox shutting out the Red Sox 4-0 as visitors bat in the 6th inning. Scott Carroll has allowed 1 hit through 5 for Chicago. Yankees lead the Indians in Cleveland 5-2 in the 7th. Nick Swisher's homered for the Tribe. Swung on and missed 1-2. Shane Green getting the start for the Yanks.
Shane Green?
Shane Green. Yep.
Blew a couple fastballs by Jay Bruce last time to finish him off.
Full count on Bruce. And he rifles one into right. Jackson got settled in and retired 13 in a row, but now 5 hits the last 2 innings combined.
From a good changeup early in that sequence, and they went back with it there 3-2. And Bruce on it.
Slider at 87 on Mesoraco. Royals 4, Rays nothing. They're in the 8th. In St. Petersburg, James Shields has 10 strikeouts. Pitching against his former team. That's deep, left center. And it's going to one-hop the wall. Bruce is going to be sent, and he will score standing. It's 4-1.
Third time through the order, the Reds hitters have figured out Edwin Jackson tonight. 2 runs, 4 hits last inning, and single double here to start the 6th. Mesoraco, as I mentioned earlier, he's just been killing fastballs this year, and that one's right out over the heart of the plate. Right in his happy zone. Explosive swing of the bat.
Still nobody out. Ludwig bunts. Jackson will pick it up. He thought about third. Instead, he'll get the out at first.
Interesting.
I wonder if he did that on his own.
Might have.
You know, it's a different era with runs scoring down, but I've always felt like the sack bunt is something that should always be called. That if a manager wants a guy to do it, he'll ask.
Well, yeah, and it may be that, you know, Ludwig just didn't feel comfortable that he'd be able to steer the ball to the right side. You know, he's thinking, okay, my job here is to get into third base. I'm going to go ahead and bunt him over. Just didn't trust his swing enough to hit it to the right side.
Infield in against Schumacher. Just made that terrific defensive play.
You know, we have this conversation from time to time. I'm not a big sacrifice bunt guy. I kind of get it here in this situation to get him to third. You got a 4-1 lead already. Got a really good bullpen. Always wary of those bunts, though, as you get closer to the bottom of the batting order to give up an out.
Yep. And again, Brian Price may have asked for it.
As we mentioned earlier, Ludwig does not have good numbers against Edwin Jackson. Maybe he just doesn't see the ball well off of him. You can get into all the strategic reasons for bunting and not bunting, but sometimes the players will tell you, hey, man, I'm just not seeing it well tonight. There's one thing I could do to contribute in some small way.
Two, swing and a miss. 2 outs in the inning.
Bunt looks a lot worse right now, doesn't it?
Yep. Santiago last at bat with a single, eventually scored on the Frazier hit. It's Manny Parra.
They got the pitcher on deck, but the pitcher can swing the bat pretty well. Santiago to expand his zone a little bit here. You don't have to give in to him. 2 balls, no strikes. You don't need to throw him a triple fastball. Likewise, if you're Santiago, this is normally a situation where you're willing to go out of the zone a little bit to try to drive that run in, but the fact that Leake is behind you, you don't need to have that approach.
Baez just homered again for Iowa. 3-run shot. And Straley pitching for the I-Cubs tonight. Ball 4. First walk issued by Jackson since he faced the first batter of the game when he walked Hamilton. And homer for Baez, his 14th of the year.
Alvin Almora's been hot too. He's been tearing it up here over the last 2-3 weeks.
I guess he left the game tonight, fouled the ball off his leg. Precautionary. According to Robbie Aaron, voice of the Daytona Cubs. We'll pop to a Northsiders report, Insiders report. That's on Twitter. And for tweeting that note, according to Robbie Aaron. Runner goes, Leak fouls back. Speaking of Northsiders report, you mentioned Almora, and they tweeted the last 14 games going into tonight, 393. With the 4 3-hit games. And tonight has homered as well. Actually, 2 home runs, 2 games for Daytona today. So Leak strikes out. They add a run to their lead. It's 4-1 Cincy at the end of 6. At 6 o'clock, and it will be the Major League debut for 33-year-old left-hander Tsuyoshi Wada. That's coming up tomorrow night right here on CSN.
Host your best customers and guests at a private suite at Wrigley Field. The Nuveen Investment Suite can accommodate anywhere from 15 to 55, include food, all-you-can-drink beverages, and parking. To book your premier experience at the ballpark, visit Cubs.com/suites.
Edwin Jackson's night is done after 6 innings. Gave up 4 runs on 7 hits. Junior Lake will pinch hit.
The Yankees general manager Brian Cashman on WFAN in New York with Mike Francesca today, saying that he had extensive negotiations with the Cubs to acquire both Jeff Samardzija and Jason Hamill. But Cashman doesn't think the Cubs could have landed a better package than the one they wound up taking from Oakland, regardless of who they were dealing with. That's kind of what you're hearing throughout the industry. The Cubs made themselves one fine deal.
Strike called on Lake. All for his last 19. Leak and Lake. And Junior looking for some luck. Anything.
Yeah. Hey, the Reds, they used to have a catcher here by the name of Bill Plummer. He would have been great with Leak. Leak and Plummer. One of the all-time great batteries.
Yeah. They have a catcher named Inside Source. That would work well, too. The 1-2. Fly ball. Hamilton over in right center will make the grab. Big night for Coghlan from the leadoff spot. 2 singles, a double, a stolen base, and a run.
And he's doing his piece.
And he looks at a strike. Leak really feeling it. 4-1 lead here in the late innings.
Yeah. Stays on the attack, doesn't he? He got beat last time out, but he'd won his prior 3 starts. 3-1 with a 3.04 over his last 4 ball games. 2 starts ago, a career high 12 strikeouts against the Giants.
Gotta believe he learned a lot from Bronson Arroyo when they were teammates. Sam LeCure up in the Reds bullpen. Two on the way. Coghlan's 4 for 4. That one's going to roll for a while. Hamilton will pick it up. It's a double. What a night.
And only Hamilton's speed preventing that one from going to the wall, and a 3-base hit for Coghlan. Hamilton plays a shallow center field. The speediest ones do. You want to take away those bloopers. Doesn't give him much of an angle to try to cut this ball off, so he has to retreat and run it down to prevent Coghlan from getting to third. But another great swing by Chris Coghlan. Hanging out line drives tonight.
Batting average has gone up 25 points tonight. He has just tied his career high with 4 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8th time in his career he's garnered 4 hits in a ball game. You can come back quickly in this ballpark. Get a guy out and pitcher makes a mistake. Right now trailing by 3. Leak nearing the end of his night. Ruziano fouls.
Yeah, I think this is his last hitter, regardless of the outcome, with Rizzo on deck. He's pitched to Anthony well tonight, but 110 pitches. Probably doesn't want to give Rizzo a fourth look at him.
Well, he has struck out Ruziano 3 times.
I stand corrected.
Well, with 2 outs, Brian Price not moving.
Kieran and Parra are up.
Leak with his 7th strikeout. Towering fly ball to right. Schumacher's back at the wall. It's gone. A 2-run homer. Brian Price left him in, and Rizzo made him pay.
And just like that, we've got a 1-run ball game. We've done a lot of damage on first pitches this year, and again they try to go in, but he leaves it out over the plate a little bit. It leaked on leak. And Ford home run replay shows the big fella going deep for the 18th time.
And Leak will get to face Castro. And he swings at the first one, and this one will be handled by Hamilton. 2-out, 2-run homer, number 18 on the year for Anthony Rizzo, trying to make the National League All-Star team. And it's now 4-3 Reds. It. 348 feet. Man, that was a high drive. Didn't get out by much, but they all count. And he's done some damage against this Reds team. And our lows never stop improving. And he's got 4 more games after this here in Cincinnati this week to do some more damage. 4 homers, 6 knocked in over his last 5 against the Reds. Left-hander James Russell trying to keep the Reds right where they are.
They've been rolling along nicely, and overall pitching to a 2.22 ERA as he works for the 35th time. Hamilton, Frazier, Phillips. Turns Hamilton around to his weaker side. And he's a 230 hitter.
Big Jonathan Broxton. Actually came on, got the save yesterday. As Chapman tweaked his hamstring before the ball game, so it was Broxton instead. Two and two the count. Loved James' line about his good friend Jeff Samardzija. After they found out Jeff got traded, he said we shared a beer and a cigarette and sent him on his way. Inside corner, called strike 3.
Well, Hamilton thought it was in. It was on the inside corner. You see number 5 there on our pitch tracks. Good pitch by Russell. Could have gone either way. Yeah, that's one thing you get to be pretty good at as a ball player, saying goodbye. You know, guys come and go all the time.
Never easy when your teammates get traded, especially the guys you hang out with. And Jeff and James were inseparable. Backhanded play, Castro, the throw! Save. Frazier just beat it out. Great stretch by Rizzo. Castro got rid of it quickly. Ricky's going to maybe come out.
Well, yeah, it was like a fire drill down there in that dugout. He and Brandon Hyde immediately to their feet. Brandon to the phone, and Ricky's going to head out to first base while they look at the video. Good play here by Castro. Falling backwards, gets a lot on the throw. Great stretch by Rizzo. I think they got him. Man, that was a heck of a play on both ends, and they're going to look at it.
So the official challenge has been lodged, and I think it will be reversed. You're right. Boy, what a play by Castro, and then Rizzo with a stretch.
You're looking at Frazier there. He's looking up at the big screen here in the ballpark, and he's not sure what to make of it. Yeah, he's out.
That didn't take very long. He's still watching, and I think now just realized he was officially called out. Todd Frazier doesn't like replay right now.
Down goes Frazier.
Telling Mike Winters, well, you tried.
said, I don't care what the video says. You got it right the first time. That was a sparkling play.
Phillips with an awkward cut. 0-2. So, in your career, you had to have a real good friend who got traded and you sulked for a day or two. Or no?
No, I didn't. Didn't sulk. You know, they blew up our team in Houston in 1990, 91. So when they blew it up, there was a lot of frustration, a lot of anger,
right.
Because as players, you always think, we're still good enough. We can still make a run at this thing. And you're not thinking big picture. You're not thinking about the business side of it. You're just thinking about the guys you've had success with and had winning seasons in the past. You feel like you can still do it. So there was that level of resentment at management for kind of breaking up the team. Yeah, and it was tough to see, Larry Anderson when he got traded away. Wasn't really a sulk factor.
Well, you understand quickly the business that it is.
Yeah.
James has been here certainly long enough to know that. And he understands. You still have to go out and do your job. And 1-2 to Phillips. Now 2-2.
Well, seeing the beauty too, in the minor league, sometimes you guys get released, and you never see him again. You make a quick friendship with a guy in A-ball, and he gets released, and he's gone. These guys at the big league level, they get to be buddies, and with the money everybody makes, they go on vacation in the wintertime, go hunting, go play around a golf. It's a little different. Can dog each other with text messages relentlessly.
Draws a 2-out walk.
Well, and if you believe what you read, there's a lot of interest, or a fair bit of interest anyway, in James Russell and Wesley Wright, two left-handers in this Cubs bullpen that have performed well this year. And teams at the trade deadline always looking to upgrade their bullpen. Last year, Russell struggled against right-handed hitters. That has not been the case this year. Kind of got backward splits working and better against righties than lefties. Significantly better.
Ball one on Bruce. Schlitter in the Cubs bullpen. Last 5 years, Bruce, 48 homers off lefties, the most by any batter in the majors. Check on Phillips.
Used to be a base stealer. Not anymore.
Love the little top hand flip that Bruce does right before he gets ready to hit. Top hand just comes off the bat, a little flick of the wrist. Might not even realize he does it. Right there. And if you didn't notice it before, you will always see it now for the rest of his career. Hard not to notice. 3-2. That means Phillips will be moving with this pitch. Rizzo plays behind him at first. Here it comes. Deep to right. And gone. Jay Bruce has done it again. His 49th homer off the lefty over the last 5 years, and they get those 2 runs right back.
Kind of been the theme tonight. The Cubs scored their first run in the 5th. Reds answer with 2 in the bottom. Up to get 2 in the top of the 7th here, and boom, just like that. Walk, home run. Reds regain their 3-run lead.
Fastball right down the middle, didn't it?
Yeah, just dropped the head on it. It's your Ford home run replay. A no doubter. The only question, I guess, was whether it would stay fair or not. Distance wise, never a doubt. Home run for Bruce this year, 5 of those 9 coming off of southpaws.
In on his hands, and he bounces to third as Valbuena will make the play. But Jay Bruce, first career game at first base, has not upset his offense at all. And the AT&T fan photo. Tweet your photo to hashtag Northside Fan Photo for a chance to have it appear in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T.
Jonathan Broxton for the 30th time this year. Pretty impressive numbers, an ERA of 0.64. League hitting 114 against the big fella. 10 hits in 28 innings. None have left the yard.
Quality start for Mike Leake. 7 innings, 3 runs, 2 earned.
Had a lot of good swings, had 9 hits off of him. Walked but 1, struck out 7. Was good when he needed to be most of the time.
Cubs down 3 yet again. Because of that man, Jay Bruce. We got the Howlers out again.
Well, we'll have a bunch of them here tomorrow for that doubleheader. You're going to have to add that to your list of things you would do if you were commissioner.
Yeah, I must be getting old.
Eliminate howling at the ballpark.
Parker just came up from AAA Iowa yesterday. Nice grab by the ball dude down there. Cubs won their first 4 on this trip, in danger of losing now their 3rd in a row since. Swept the Red Sox. Won game 1 in Washington. And a ground ball through the left side.
You don't usually see that from Valbuena. Off-field stroke there. It's a running fastball. That's exactly what he was trying to do. Fastball strike. Slider caught the outside. Well, they're probably thinking that first pitch I saw might be the best one I see in this at bat. Can't worry about that now, though. He's got a battle with 2 strikes. Here it comes.
not always the case, but by and large, you just, with 2 strikes, you just don't see the same types of swings you see earlier in the count. You're guarding against everything. Obviously, the fastball first, but
you got to wait a little bit longer. At that breaking ball right there.
Have officially announced Johnny Cueto for game 1 with Holmberg game 2 tomorrow. I probably already had said that. That was because I believe the Cubs game notes had him in game 1, but the Reds had not officially made up their minds just yet. Now they have. Swing and a miss on a slider for strike 3. One away here in the Cubs' 8th. We have a replay controversy with the Braves and the Mets. It's called on Twitter here. I guess what appeared to be a neighborhood play was reviewed and reversed in the bottom of the 9th. Braves and Mets, and Freddie Gonzalez just got ejected after the reversal. I haven't seen the play, obviously, but the neighborhood play is not supposed to be reviewable. So I'm guessing the call at second was out, making it a neighborhood play, and the Mets must have challenged, and they decided that the infielder was not on the bag.
Maybe there was an errant throw that pulled the infielder off the bag.
Could have been, and then it's not the neighborhood play. I'll be curious to see that later. We're still in the replay info gathering business. At least I am. I don't know how you feel about it, but
I'm more reactionary.
The 1-1 to Scherholz is popped up over near the Cubs dugout. Frazier will have room. I got a couple tweets. What is the neighborhood play? Essentially, on a fairly routine double play ball, they give the middle infielder a little leeway to maybe not touch the bag in order to avoid an injury. But the throw usually has to be right on the bag.
Yeah, so they're saying we're not going to review that one because we routinely call the guy out even if he doesn't touch the base. Because we don't want guys hanging in there too long and risking injury or reaching back for the bag. But if there's an errant throw that pulls the guy off the base, that changes the equation. And we've seen that.
We had one of those
once this year, yeah. I think in Pittsburgh.
Ground ball knocked down by Broxton. Looked like it hit him in the right leg or knee. And I'm sure it stung, but he's not showing it. But he knocks it down and gets Barney, and the inning is over. The Cubs have stranded runners in every inning but one.
Have the final say. Vote for Anthony Rizzo as the final National League All-Star. Go to Cubs.com and cast your 2014 All-Star Game final votes. And Rizzo to the All-Star Game in Minnesota. Voting ends at 3 p.m. on Thursday.
Here's Blake Parker.
Third stint with the Cubs this year. Only 3 appearances. A couple in April, and then his last one back on May 27th. A PCL All-Star this year. Closer down there at Iowa. 18 saves and 19 chances and a 1.44 ERA with the I-Cubs.
Curve for a strike to Ludwig.
Good pitch, good sequence. Hammer for strike one, and
Chapman is ready tonight. Some tweets about the neighborhood play. Dean Lamb allowing it to stand under replay rules was a huge mistake. There's nothing in the rule book that allows for that call. I mean, yeah, generally I agree. I just think that if you don't give a little leeway on that play, it might start to get a little out of hand with the reviews.
Yeah, as a guy drags his foot across the top of the bag, you could probably review that all the time. And there's a question too about cameras and where the cameras are trained, how many cameras they have available, and what they can actually get a good look at. I know that was a talking point in spring training.
And I think because they're trying to avoid collisions at the plate, I think their thought was, are we creating possibly more dangerous situations at second if we force guys to make sure they touch the bag? Look, I don't disagree philosophically with that, but I also understand why they didn't include it. It's not a perfect system, and I don't think they intended it to be that. It's to avoid the egregious mistake.
But he lost Ludwig. But stuff looks good. Action on that curveball. You just threw a 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
A little air underneath it, and that'll give Ruggiano time to get over and make the play. Pitch to Santiago, fouled behind the net. 26,558 here tonight. When do you think that was recorded? That trumpet. Yeah, because it sounds like the same one we've heard in ballparks since the day I was
probably in the 40s.
Born. I love it. Be cool if they had some guy like in the upper deck with a microphone, wouldn't it?
Remember going to the Montreal Forum to see the Canadians, and there was always the trumpet player there.
1-2. Parker 18 out of 19 in save chances with the Cubs. PCL All-Star as a result. All-time leader, right? In saves at Iowa?
He is.
Driven to right, and that ball will land foul. All right, here's the play, Braves and Mets tonight. It's the first time we're looking at it. Well, safe at first. But he's not on the bag. It looks like a neighborhood play. He did not get the out at first.
Yeah, but the neighborhood play implies you're moving to get just to avoid contact, right?
Right.
So I can see where the umpire would say, well, he's coming off the bag early because he feels like he's not going to beat the base runner with the force play at second. That may be the justification.
They didn't consider it the neighborhood play.
Right. He's saying he's just cheating a little bit because it's going to be a bang-bang play there at second base. So that's probably going to have to be addressed and tightened up.
Ludwig runs. Santiago walks. Zach Cozart will pinch hit for Broxton.
Now, if the Reds score here, they probably shut Chapman down and use somebody else. So this becomes an important inning for Blake Parker, beyond whether the Cubs have a fighting chance to come back in the ninth inning or not. Because big picture, you'd probably rather see Chapman in this game. I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive. The likelihood you come back against anybody out of that bullpen down 3 in the ninth inning is not great. But if you get Chapman to work in this game and he has to work in one of the games tomorrow, then he's not going to be guaranteed they wouldn't use him in game 2 tomorrow if they use him tonight and in game 1 tomorrow. Well, check that. I can't guarantee anything. That would be my hunch.
Here comes Chris Bosio.
Letting him know he's the pivot man on the double play on a ground ball back to the mound. batting, just .229 this year with a couple of home runs. Real solid defender. Offensively near the bottom of the league, .274 on base, .305 slugging. Seems to me he hit for a fair bit more power than that last year. Home runs, 30 doubles last season with a .254 batting average.
Ground ball, base hit in the left. Ludwig held by Steve Smith, who's been, I'd say, fairly conservative at third. Coghlan was pretty shallow out there when he fielded that ground ball base hit. So they're loaded with one out. And it brings up Hamilton.
Obviously, with his speed, tough man to double. And there's Steve Smith reading this ball into left field. Sees Coghlan hustle in there to get it, throws up the stop sign. Ludwig does not run well. He doesn't run fast. He may run just fine. His form may be impeccable, but he's not fast. This fella here is really fast.
That's a fair ball. That's a lot of trouble. Ludwig scores. Santiago's in. Cozart. And it's a triple. And 9-3 Reds lead. And you can forget about Aroldis Chapman now, as you said.
Yeah, Barney Fife can put the bullet back in his pocket. Doesn't have to use Chapman tonight. Watch Hamilton fly around the bases. Infield tight. They cut off a run at home plate. That diminishes the range of Rizzo. And once it got by, it was an easy three-bagger for Hamilton.
Infield in. Cozart looks at ball one.
Is Billy Hamilton the favorite for Rookie of the Year in the National League?
I was thinking about that earlier. I would have to look more deeply into it. Certainly on the list.
Yeah, I think just the impact because of the speed. Kid in Arizona's having a nice year, Owens.
Popped him up, but that doesn't mean Hamilton won't try to score. Although ahead by 6, I'm guessing he won't. He will not. You may say, well, I mean, Barney caught it. If he needed to score, he might think about it. He's that fast.
That was super slow motion, though.
Oh, slow motion. Gonna go that far.
Edwin Jackson's on the hook for the loss tonight. He will fall to 5-9. Mike Leake, barring a miraculous comeback, will leave his record at 7-7.
So we got a quick look here at the rookie leaders in the National League, and Yeah, I think Millie Hamilton's definitely on that list.
The American League is going to be really interesting. Tanaka and Abreu.
In fact, I would say Hamilton is the favorite.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
The 1-0 to Phillips is a strike called.
Phillips officially 0 for 2 tonight. Walked and scored in the 7th. Sac fly in the 1st. In between a ground out and a fly out.
Sharply hit grounder. Castro moving to his left. And he'll throw to Rizzo in time. 3 more for the Reds on the triple by Hamilton. 9-3 as we go to the 9th. Live, do not miss Sportsnet Central presented by GMC. Got the All-Star push for Anthony Rizzo, the latest on NBA free agency. See all that and more on Sportsnet Central tonight after Cubs postgame live only on Comcast Sportsnet. Changes, Cozart stays in, he plays short. Over to second goes Santiago. That means Phillips is out. And Sam LeCure will try to get the final 3 outs.
So the
safe spot.
Flame-throwing left-hander, you get the finesse right-hander in Sam LeCure. Well, he can get you to swing and miss, has a really good curveball.
The walks have hurt the Cubs tonight, partner. 4 of them have come around to score.
Yeah, they issued 5.
4 out of 5. Doesn't always happen that way, but it has tonight. And as you said, that could be significant. The fact that they don't have to use their closer in this one.
Yeah, and from my point of view, they wouldn't have had to use them with a 3-run lead, but that's just philosophical difference that I have with the way the game is played. It seems to me like if this were a 3-run game, Sam LeCure could probably come out there and get 3 outs before the Cubs got 3 runs, and just about anybody else in that bullpen could do it. But it's a save. Managers tend to manage to the stat. Closers, if they don't get that save opportunity, are not going to be happy.
And I think a lot of managers and coaches think that we don't take the human element into consideration, that we're just moving chess pieces around. As Sweeney drives one to right, but it's going to be run down by Schumacher. Now, you pitched, so you've been there. But
no, I get it.
The idea of, well, he's our closer. If you go to somebody else, you got to get them up anyway, just in case you get guys on. So if you're going to get them loose, bring them in anyway. And
right, I'm there. I get that. I get all that. And if I were managing, I would probably do the same exact thing that these guys do. I just think that the game has evolved to this point, and managers are kind of trapped by it. I think deep down, a lot of guys would tell you, yeah, I'd rather not use him in that situation. I'd feel comfortable mixing and matching, trying to work my way through the ninth and save him.
I think the other answer to that, which I also understand, is we're up by 6 now, but we're up 3 tonight. We're going to win tonight. I'm not saving my guy.
Right, that is an answer. But you see it a lot over the course of a season where a guy comes in, maybe he's pitching
an easy save, and then the hard one.
Well, and the easy save, he's, it's like the 3rd time he's worked in 4 days, and he comes out there with a 3-run lead, gets a save, and he's rendered not available the next day, and the next day it's a 2-1 ball game.
Yep. Foul ground. Coghlan retired for the only time tonight. 4 for 5. Here's Ruggiano with 2 outs. Yeah, so the question is, would Sam LeCure be mowing him down if it were a 3-run game? Would we be looking at kind of the same scenario here? We'll never know. Base hit.
Another multi-hit game for Ruggiano.
5 in a row.
Full house tonight. Strikeouts over singles.
Well, I think the other thing when it comes to Aroldis Chapman is kind of limiting his exposure. So a guy like Rizzo doesn't get a look at him tonight.
Right, that's the other part of it.
He might get in a tighter game over the next 3 days. Ruggiano will take second and will not be given a stolen base.
Just put it this way: if the save rule were written differently and the number wasn't 3 runs but 2 runs, you wouldn't use your closer with a 3-run lead, right?
No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
Kind of silly, isn't it? Swing and a miss. Like a good changeup there. 1-2 the count.
And his best asset is pitchability. Good mix of pitches, good control.
Full count, 3-2. Here it comes. Rizzo stays alive. John Walsh, our producer tonight. Dave Turner, our director. Keon Dolachati, an associate producer. Great work by our entire crew. We're back with you tomorrow night here on CSN for Game 3 of the series, Game 2 of the day-night doubleheader. We'll see a Major League debut. Tsuyoshi Wada, 33. Called strike 3. And the Reds take Game 1 by the final score of 9-3. An eventful night for Jay Bruce. He made an error in his first ever game at first base, but he also hit a big 2-run homer, went 2 out of 4, and the Cubs have now dropped 3 straight.
Yeah, final score a blowout, but pretty entertaining game most of the night. The Rizzo home run of the 7th pulled the Cubs within 1, but the Reds immediately answered.